Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So in this video I am going to discuss about the computer network concepts that are helpful to even in the placement and also in the gate net examination. So let's discuss with some basic questions, and we'll next move to MCQ questions. So what is network and what are the different kinds of network? So as you know, the network means it is where the group of computers or the nodes are connected together. Okay, where the number of computers or nodes they are connected together, where they communicate through the internet. Okay, so in network means where the computer or nodes they are connected together and they connected each other by the communication path. So there are types of networks are local area network, where the nodes are covering in a small physical area. So LANs are enable high transfer rate of data, and the speed of the LAN ranges from the 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps, where the organizations or schools or any building, okay, so they can the computers are connected in a LAN, means they can use the LAN configuration type of network. So some of the topologies are bus topology, mesh topology, star topology, where the central hub is connected. So suppose if A want to send the data to the B, so A sends the data to the hub, central hub, and from central hub to the B. So bus topology, where all the nodes are connected to a central path. And ring topology, where the nodes are connected end to end. And tree topology, it is a combination of the star and bus topology. Okay, so that is about the topology concepts. Then the local area network, then wide area network. So this WAN that connects a group of nodes covering the wide geographical area. When we connect the regions or the countries, state and all, so that is wide area network. Then VPN is virtual private network, so that connects the or links the nodes in the some larger area by open connection or the virtual circuits in some larger network, for example through the internet instead of the physical wires, virtual private network. So it is used in secure communication through the public internet. So VPN, that virtual private network, alone may not support explicit security feature such as authentication and content encryption. So that is the intranet. Intranet means it is in a particular organization. Okay, we use the intranet is a set of network under the control of a single administrative person, means a particular college they can use the intranet in their campus. Okay, so under the control of single administrative person, then it can be considered as internal network of an organization. If it is large and web servers are used to provide the information to the user, then that is a extranet. Extranet means that they can access from the home, or if it is a large where web servers are used, that is called as extranet. Extranet, it is a network that restricts itself within a single organization. So then local area network that we discussed. Okay, so local area network, relatively small area or in a campus. Okay, so this is the local area network where the different workstations are connected, different nodes, server and all. Okay, so what is the difference between internet and intranet? Internet and intranet. So internet is an open public space network, okay, but in intranet it is protected by a password and accessible only to the employees of that particular organization. Only the authorized user they can access. Intranet it is in a particular organization. For example, there is engineering college, so those organization people employees can access the network. Intranet it is within a some authorized users can only access. Internet it is unlimited number of users, but in internet there is a limited number of users, and there is unlimited traffic. Okay, unlimited visitors traffic, but here in limited. And here every computer in the internet is identified by the unique IP address. Okay, and there is a unique IP address, but in intranet every computer in internet also identified by the IP address which is unique among the computers in that intranet. Okay, which is a unique among the computers in that particular intranet network. Next comes the protocol. What is protocol? Protocol means a standard way of communicating across the network. A standard rules or set of rules or a standard way for communication across the network. So that is protocol. A set of rules or procedure for transmitting the data between the two devices such as computers. So that is a protocol. Protocol means it is a set of rules or procedure for transmitting the data. So here it is a method by which two dissimilar systems can communicate. Two different systems they can communicate through these protocols. So there are many different protocols are there. That is a transmission control protocol or internet protocol, hypertext transport protocol, PPP protocol, file transfer protocol, and SLIP protocol. There are various other protocols are there. So what is FTP, file transfer protocol? So in the file transfer protocol, so this mechanism that is provided by the TCP IP for transferring the file from one host to another host, transferring the files, that is file transfer protocol. So that enables the user to send and receive the large portion of the data through a private or public network. So it uses the port 21, so 21 for the control connection and the port 20 for data connection. Okay, port 21 for control connection. So the file transfer protocol, FTP file transfer protocol, it uses the port 21 for control connection. It uses the port 21 for control connection and the port 20 for data connection, the file transfer protocol. So here it is a client and a server. So through the TCP IP protocol, that is through the port 21 for control connections and port 20 for the data connection. So file transfer protocol. So here the client has three components such as the user interface, control process, and data transfer process. So the server has two component, control and data transfer process. So the connection made between the client protocol and data transfer process. Okay, client and data transfer process. The connection made between the client control process and the server control process is a control connection. So the connection made between client data and the server data, that is a data connection. So here there is the data transfer between the client and server, there is a data connection. Okay, so that is port 21 and here the control connection port. Okay, port 21 is for the control connection and port 20 for this data connection. The control connection remains connected during the complete interactive file transfer protocol sessions. Next we'll discuss some layers of open system interconnection model, OSI reference model. There are 7 layers are there. The first one is physical layer. Physical layer, it represents all the electrical and physical specification of the devices, electrical physical specification of the devices. Then layer 2 is the data link layer. Okay, and in the physical layer the bits are used to transfer it transfer the data in terms of the bits. And the data link layer, it provides a functional and procedural means to transfer the data between the network entities and to detect, possibly correct the errors that may occur in the physical layer. So the data link layer, it transfers the data in a frame, so that is called as a data frames. And next layer is a network layer, where network layer provides the functional and procedural means for transferring the variable length data sequence from source to destination through one or more networks. So the network layer, it transfers the data in terms of the packets, and transport layer, it provides the transfer of data between the end users. So the transport layer, it uses the TCP protocol, transmission control protocol, and TCP protocol and UDP protocol for transmission of the data. So UDP is an unreliable protocol. Okay, then session layer, it controls the sessions between the computers. So it connects, manage and terminate the connection between the local and remote applications. Means this session layer, it creates a sessions, it manages the sessions and terminates the connection between the local and remote applications. Okay, then next is the presentation layer, where presentation layer, it transfers the data to provide a standard interface for the application layer. Okay, it transfers the data. So the presentation layer means it includes the semantics or syntax of the data, where it transforms the data to provide a standard interface for the application layer. It converts the data to a standard format. Okay, so that is a compression of the data or encryption of the data. So it provides a standard, it transforms the data to some other form, so that is a standard interface for the application layer. And application layer, where it provides a means for the users to access the information. Okay, means it provides the network services to the end users. So these are the different layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, then session layer, and presentation and application layer. So these are the different layers of OSI model. Then network topology, as we discussed the ring topology. Okay, so ring topology, where each node connected with in a loop. Okay, so this is the one computer, 1 2 3 4. So all these computers are connected in a loop. So ring topology, so each node is connected to its immediate neighbor nodes. So ring topology is easy to install and manage. To add or remove it requires changing only two connections. To add any device, or to remove any device, that requires only two connections. If one single computer fails, the entire network will goes down. Okay, suppose if there is a failure of this particular device, then it will affect the network will goes down. So that is the ring topology. Then bus topology, where the nodes are connected to a central or common cable called as backbone. Okay, so these are the different computers that are connected to a cable. Okay, so it is easy to install and manage. Okay, then star topology, where all the nodes are connected to the central hub. So this is the central hub, and where here all the nodes are connected, so that is a central hub. The dependency of entire network is on one single device. Okay, that is hub. So there is a dependency here, dependency of entire network. Okay, then explain the IP, TCP and UDP protocols: internet protocol, transmission control protocol, user datagram protocol. So TCP protocol is used to establish communication between the nodes or the networks and exchange the data packets. So it guarantees the delivery of data packets in the order they were sent. Okay, so that is the main benefit of TCP protocol, is that it gives assurance that there is a guarantee of delivery of the data to the receiver in the order they were sent. So hence it is most commonly used in all the applications. So here there is a guarantee of the delivery of the data to the receiver. So hence it is most commonly used in all the applications that requires a guaranteed delivery of the data. So using the TCP, transmission control protocol, there is a guarantee in the delivery of the data. So it can handle the both timeout, okay, and retransmission. Timeout means if the packets were delayed, or and retransmission if the packets were lost. So the stream of data is transmitted in the segments. So here the stream of data that is transmitted in a segment. Okay, so the segment header is a 32-bit. It is a connectionless communication protocol at the third level of a OSI model. Okay, so TCP, transmission control protocol, so it ensures the guarantee of delivery of the packet. Then internet protocol, it is used for transmission of a data over the internet. It uses the IP addresses to identify the each machines uniquely, and message is sent using a small packets. Messages are sent using a small packets, and the packets contain both sender and receiver addresses. Internet protocol that does not guarantee the delivery in the same order as they sent, but the TCP, it gives a guarantee about the packet is sent in the same order as they were sent. Then next is it is also connectionless communication protocol. The next is UDP, where user datagram protocol. It is a communication protocol, and it is normally used in an alternative for the TCP IP protocol. However, there are a number of difference between them. Okay, so UDP does not divide the data into packets. Also, UDP does not send the packets in a sequence. So TCP, that ensures transmission control protocol, that ensures the guarantee of the data delivery. Okay, the order in which they sent from the sender. But the UDP, user datagram protocol, it does not ensure the delivery of the packets. And here the UDP does not divide the data into packets. Also, the UDP does not send the data packet in a sequence. Hence, the application program must ensure the sequencing. UDP uses the port numbers to distinguish the user request. It is also known as checksum capability to verify the data. Okay. So and UDP, user datagram protocol, it is also unreliable. It is also an unreliable protocol. Okay. Then next, what is multicasting? Multicasting, it allows a single message to be sent to the group of recipient. Okay, single message sent to some group of recipients. The relationship is one to many. Okay, multicasting. Emailing, we send an email to the multiple people, so that is multicasting. Then teleconferencing, an example of the multicasting. It uses the network infrastructure and standards to send the message. It uses the network infrastructure and standards to send the message. So in multicasting, the source address is unicast address. In multicasting, the source address is a unicast address, but the destination address is a group of address. So here, while sending the email, so from one person can send to the multiple destination addresses, multiple email addresses. So the router may forward the received packets through the several of its interfaces. So here is the like source. Okay, its source is sending to the different group 1. Okay, through the different path. Then what is the functionality of ping? So ping is particularly used to check if the system is in network or not. Okay, so ping the IP address. ping is used to check whether the system is in a network or not. Ping command. Okay, so it also gives the packet lost information. Ping, it gives the packet lost information. So in Windows, ping command is written as ping and IP address. Okay, we use the IP address in a command form. So the output returns the data packets information. So once we enter this ping and IP address, it returns the data packets information. So the number of packets sent, received and lost is returned by this particular ping command. Okay, next, MAC address, medium access control. So media access control address. Media access control is a unique identifier that is assigned to the network adapter or network interface card. Media access control, MAC address. Okay, so here the manufacturer, the network adapters or network interface cards by the manufacturer for the purpose of identification and used in the media access control protocol sublayer. It is a 12-digit hexadecimal number. MAC address means it is a unique identifier that is assigned to the network adapter or the network interface card. A unique identifier. So this 12 digit hexadecimal number, that hexadecimal can include only the 0 to 9 letters and A to F. So MAC address usually encode the registered identification of the manufacturer. Okay, it is a unique identifier that is assigned to the network adapter or network interface card. Okay, so this MAC address, it is usually encodes the registered identification of the manufacturers if the address is assigned by the manufacturer. If sometimes it is also called as Ethernet address or physical address. Okay, so that is a MAC address, media access control. Then I explain the spanning tree protocols. So spanning tree protocol is a network protocol that provides a loop-free topology for any bridged Ethernet local area network. It is implemented in the local area network connections. Okay, so spanning tree protocol, IGMP means it is Internet Group Management Protocol. Internet Group Management Protocol is a communication protocol. Okay, Internet Group Management Protocol is a communication protocol which allows the internet host to participate in multicasting. Okay, it allows the internet host to participate in the multicasting. Internet Group Management Protocol. Internet Group Management Protocol, IGMP messages are used to learn which host is a part of which multicast group. The IGMP messages are used to learn which host is a part of which multicast group. Then what are the ping and trace cert? So just now we discussed about the ping. So ping and trace cert are the commands. Trace cert and ping, these are the commands used to send the information to some remote computers. Send the information to some remote computers or to receive some information. Okay, so ping command, that is the information is sent or received in a small blocks of the data, that is called as packets. So in Windows we can use this ping command as ping IP address. So tracert is a trace route, trace the route, TRACERT, trace route. So it is used to track the trace or path, the packets that takes from one computer where the command is given until the destination. Trace the route. Okay, path, it trace the path, the packet that takes from the computer where the command is given until its destination. So it will list the routers it passes through until it reaches its destination. Okay, so trace how we can use this command is that TRACERT, then IP address. You can enter your IP address of a system. Okay, so next RSVP, resource reservation protocol, resource reservation protocol used to reserve the resources across the network. Then DHCP. Okay, so DHCP means it's a dynamic host configuration protocol. DHCP is a dynamic host configuration protocol. It is used to assign the dynamic IP addresses to the computer in a network. As the name indicates, dynamic host configuration protocol. So it is used to assign the dynamic IP address. It is used to assign the dynamic IP addresses. So using the dynamic host configuration protocol, computer has different IP addresses every time it connects to the network. Okay, so the as it is a dynamic, and the IP address of this every system means, using this dynamic host configuration protocol, computer has a different IP address every time it connects to a network. So in some system the IP address can change while the system is still connected. It means DHCP leases out the IP address to the computer for some time. It is used to control the network configuration of a host through the remote server. Control the network configuration through the remote server. DHCP provides the static and dynamic address allocation that can be manual or automatic. So it is an excellent alternative. It is an excellent alternative to the time-consuming manual configuration of the network setting of a host. It works on the client-server model. So it works on the client server model. It works on the client server model, and it is a protocol which has its own set of messages. Okay, own set of messages. The advantages of dynamic host configuration protocol server is that IP configuration gets automatically configured to the client machine. Okay, the IP address are automatically configured to the client machine. So dynamic host configuration client window. So request for the IP addresses. So here it is IP address server and network station. Okay, so server it listens the request and issues the IP address. So here it is a IP address server. So this server, it listens to the request and issues a IP address to the system. IP address to the system. So what are the difference between domain and work group? Okay, so here it is a domain. In a domain, one or more computers can be a server to manage the network, but in work group, all computers are the peers that have no control on each other in a work group. Okay, so domain, it is a centralized administration. Work group is there is no centralized authorization. Okay, so how NAT works? Network address translation. NAT means network address translation. Network address translation. NAT. How it works? It is a virtualization of the IP address. It translates IP addresses used in a network to another IP address known within the another network. Okay, so it translates the IP address of a system used in the network to another IP address that are known within another network. So network address translation means it translates the IP address that are used in one network to another IP address. It is an internet standard that allows the local area network to use a set of IP addresses for the internet traffic and a second set of addresses for the external traffic. Okay, so it prevents a malicious activity that is initiated outside host from reaching the local host by being dependent on machines in the local network. So here it is a network address translation router, and this is a local area network. So that is a private network, and the internet is a public network. So it helps improve the security and decrease the number of IP address. So in a pooled NAT, outside pooled IP addresses are used and shared by the inside devices when connected to the internet. A NAT router is responsible for translating the traffic that is coming and leaving the network. So NAT, network address translation router. What is triple P protocol? Triple P means point to point protocol. Point to point protocol. Point to point protocol is a triple P protocol. It helps to communicate between the two computers. It helps to communicate between the two computers over a serial cable or phone line or the fiber optics. For example, it connection between any internet service provider or a host. So this is the format where flag, checksum, information, protocol, control, address. Okay, so flag is a 1 byte. Okay, so point to point control, communicate between the two computers over a serial cable or phone line or a fiber optic lines. Next is what is IP spoofing? IP spoofing and how it can be prevented. IP spoofing means it is a mechanism. It is a mechanism used by the attackers to gain the unauthorized access to a system. Okay, IP spoofing is a mechanism. IP spoofing is a mechanism that is used by the attacker. Okay, IP spoofing is a technique used by the attackers to gain unauthorized access to the system. It refers to the connection hijacking through a fake internet protocol address. Okay, it refers to a connection hijacking through the fake internet protocol address. Internet protocol spoofing. The intruder sends the message to a computer with an IP address that indicate that message is coming from the trusted host. Okay, so here the intruder, that is attacker, sends a message. Okay, the attacker sends a message to a computer with an IP address indicating that the message is sent from the or coming from the trusted host. Okay, so IP spoofing attack means the attacker sends the message to a computer with an IP address indicating that the message is coming from a trusted host. Okay, so this IP spoofing means where the attacker can access the system, that is unauthorized users are access the system. Prevention of the IP spoofing, internet protocol spoofing. So to prevent the IP spoofing, authentication is used on the basis of key exchanged between the user and the machine on a network. So it enables the encryption sessions on the router so that trusted host can securely communicate with the local host. Then what is the IP datagram, internet protocol datagram, fragmentation, and MTU? IP datagram is the format of a data that is organized by the IP. Okay, the format of the data is organized by internet protocol is called IP datagram. IP datagram can be used to describe the portion of the IP data. It consists of IP header and the data. Okay, so IP header consists of the source IP address, destination IP address. Okay, so there are various fields of datagrams are there, such as version, internet header length, type of service, total length, identification. Okay, then MTU means maximum transmission unit. Maximum transmission unit, MTU, maximum transmission unit. Fragmentation, breaking IP packets into smaller pieces, IP packets into the smaller pieces. Okay, what is application gateway? Application gateway is an application program that runs on a firewall between the two networks. Application gateway is an application program that runs on the firewall between the two networks. application gateway. Application gateway means a program that runs on the firewall between two networks. Application gateway is also known as proxy. Okay, so the application program that runs on a firewall between the two networks. So this application gateway is also known as a proxy. It is used for establishing a connection between the client programs and destination service. Okay. Next, the client server. Okay, so this here the client, these are the client 1 2 3. So these client, they access the server content through this internet protocol. So that is client and server. Client is an application that runs on a personal computer or a workstation that relies on the server to perform operations. A client is a requesting programmer or the user client server relationship. Server is a computer program that provides the services to the computer program. That server provides the services to the computer program in same or another computer. So what is a soft handoff? Handoff is a process of transferring a phone call in progress from one base station to the another base station without interruption of the calls. Then physical characteristics of the fiber optic cable. So fiber optic cable that is in the transmission media, okay, through a coaxial cable, optical fiber cable, a fiber optical cable that supports the voice, data or the video, okay, so that is up to the 1 Gbps. Then a static router. Static router is a manual configuration or selection of a network route, and it is managed by the network administrator. What is a hub, and state the type of hubs? Hub means it is a central server that connects to all the systems. It is a central where it means all these workstations are depend upon the central hub. So network requires a central location to bring the media segment together, and the central location is called as hub. Okay. Hub joins multiple devices. So there are passive hub, active hub, intelligent hub. Then what is the role of modem in transmission? So here it is a modem that is connected between the computers. Okay. So modulation, demodulation. Modem is known as modulation or demodulator. So it plays important role in data transmission from one computer to another computer through the telephone lines. Modem must be present in both the system source and destination while transferring the data. It means that both sender and receiver must have the modem. Sender and receiver. Okay, so this is all about some basic concept that we discussed, and in the next video we'll cover some MCQs based upon these computer network concepts.